Extreme 3D glow-in-the-dark anglerfish acrylic nail art tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you a extreme 3D, kind of 4D because there's a little spring in there, anglerfish. And this is something that I have been thinking of doing and planning on doing for so long, and I don't know why it took me so long to make an anglerfish, because it was one of those designs that I was always writing down in my book like, oh, I really want to make this, and then I'd forget about it, or I'd just not do it, and then Anyway you want to look at it, I did not do this for far too long, and so I finally made this anglerfish, and I love the way he turned out. Especially, he looks better in the dark than he does in the light, just because anglerfish, I mean, they're just kind of black and brown and not that exciting. But in the dark, he has so many glow-in-the-dark elements on him that he just looks so freaky. I love it. It's kind of gross, but I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe, see all my future videos as well. So to start with, I'm just going to begin with an overlay of clear acrylic. I painted it with black gel polish, so I guess the color that you do your overlay with does not really matter in the slightest, but just go ahead and paint that. Or you can do a layer of black acrylic and then encase it with clear. That would work as well. For some reason, I don't like doing overlays with black acrylic. I think it gets my brush really gunky and gets it, so I have to clean it and it's a mess. So I try to avoid doing that. But after you have your nail all finished and all the overlays done, go ahead and file it into shape with your E-file. I started out with a pretty coarse bit to remove any bulk, and then a much finer bit just to refine the surface texture. So then, like I said, painting it with black gel polish, at least one coat, 2 coats, however much your black gel polish requires. Mine I did 2, curing it between layers, and then apply a layer of gel sealer over the top of that and curing it one more time. So now with brown acrylic, we're going to be sculpting our anglerfish's face. So like I said in the intro, he's really not that exciting as far as colors go. He's basically brown. So just take your brown acrylic and sculpt out a nice big oval. Pretty much fills up the entire nail. So just kind of work that out. You want him to have a really wide face. You want him to have that huge gaping mouth that you just look at and have plenty of room to paint his little sharp glow-in-the-dark teeth. So don't be shy and don't make him too small. Make him nice and big. So now I'm going to be working on his lips. And like I said, big gaping mouth. You want a huge mouth on your anglerfish. She is 90%, she's 90% mouth. So just kind of blend that up and kind of make a nice little lip on there. I mean, even though it's not nearly as interesting in the light as far as the freak factor goes, you do want to still have some interest, so you don't want to just make it flat. So kind of, like I said, build up lips, kind of poke in a hole. This is important before your acrylic fully sets. Make sure that you have a hole in the top of the head for where her lure is. So then work on the bottom of the mouth. Same thing, kind of build up a lip there. Make it so it's not just so flat, but they are a pretty smooth fish, so you know there's only so much that you can do here. So now I'm going to take I'm going to fill in that mouth with a little very thin layer of black acrylic. If you wanted to, you could have just left the mouth without any of the brown acrylic on there, and the black would have showed through, but I had some brown acrylic that was on top of it, so I had to black it out. And then with kind of a warm gold acrylic, I'm just going to be adding some highlights on my fish's face, just so it's not just so brown, just to kind of give it a little bit of warmth, a little bit of color variation. But you could also do this if you had like a sheer gray or something. You could do it with gray tones too. It's kind of up to you. So now on a nail form backing, we're going to be making the rest of our fishy body. So start out with just a blob of brown for the body, kind of work that into shape. Her head is very big, or her jaw, mouth, face area, and then her body is really pretty small. So kind of look at your nail to make sure that your body doesn't end up being too big. So you don't want it to be too small either, but it's kind of a balance. Just make sure, and you can exaggerate this. This is nail art, so you can make it a little bit more on the exaggerated side. A really tiny little body and a really big head, that works too, especially since it's sticking out the underside of the nail. You need to make sure that it's not too big that doesn't fit under the nail. So kind of something else to keep in mind. So then after you have that, and it's all, so I have the body with brown and then tail fin and the fins with that warm gold color again. Pop it off the nail form backing, and then just add another layer. You want it to be really nice and 3D. So add another layer to the one side, to the tail fin, or to the tail, and the body, and just kind of blend that in. You don't want it to be that sharp line between the fin and the body, so kind of blend the colors together, and then add the fin, the dorsal fin to the one side, and then kind of attach that a little bit better with some more of that gold acrylic. And repeat for the other side. So attach to, so poof up the other side, make the other side more 3D, and add that fin. File the body so that it's got a nice flat end on it, and then glue your glue your spring in place. So after you have that glued in place, it's not very secure unless you attach it with some acrylic. So just go over that bottom line or the bottom row of wire and cover it up with some brown acrylic just to make sure that it isn't just going to pop off as soon as you start to play with it. And then cut off the extra spring if there is any. My spring was too big, and so just cut off any extra. And if you're wondering where I got these springs, I know some people ask me where I get my supplies. Unfortunately, I don't have a very good answer for this one. My dad works construction, and he brings me home little things that he finds, and springs and other gadgets like this are one of those things that I am just gifted. So I don't know where to tell you to find them, but I would think that online you could find little teeny tiny springs pretty easily. So then you're going to want to attach your body to the underside of the nail with glue and acrylic, and then attach a curved piece of wire into that hole that's in the front of the face. So I have my wire pre-curved, and then just glue that into place and attach it with some acrylic, and then add a little acrylic bulb on the very end of it for the lure. And now with black paint, we're going to be doing some details. So I'm going to paint her eyes first off. So just add little black dots, and then add some outlines here and there just to kind of like pop out her lips. Add some outlines around her eyes to make them look like they're a little bit buggy, I guess you could say. Little white highlight in the eyes, and then add some details on her body. So add just some lines on the fins just to make them look like they're a little bit wavy, and add some texture there. Both sides. If you want, you can dilute your black paint to make it a little bit easier to paint with and not so harsh. And then using white gel paint or white gel polish or something like that, but just make sure it's a white gel, we're going to be painting her teeth. So just take and add those nice, sharp, long little teeth in her mouth. The thinner you can get them, the better. I know it's really hard to do with, depending on how thick the gel product is that you're using, but just add those nice long teeth in there, and then wait just a moment to cure them. So just add teeth coming down from the upper lip and then coming up from the lower jaw and upper jaw. So add all of those teeth, pretty much fill the mouth. You want this to look really pretty gross. And then open up your glow-in-the-dark powder and pour it over that uncured gel. And then cure it. So then I'm going to be mixing some gel sealer with some of my glow-in-the-dark pigment. So I'm just mixing this on a nail form backing. So just mix that together. And you're going to create kind of a glow-in-the-dark paste. So after your teeth have cured, remove the extra dust, and then grab that little gel paint that you have and add some highlights on your fish, and just kind of add that paint, that little gel glow mix wherever you want there to be some glow-in-the-dark elements. Now this isn't going to glow as much, so this is like the lower side of it. So add it over the wire of the lure, over the face, kind of mix it up. When you paint it over the end of the lure, that little bulb, dip that into the glow-in-the-dark pigment so it's got 2 layers on it, and it'll be really, really glowy. Cure the face, and then add some of those little glow-in-the-dark elements to the body as well. So over the fins, a little bit over the side of the body, just a little bit, not too much. Cure that again, and this is all done. This fish, like I said, is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I love how it's creepy, but because of the way the body is, it's a little bit on the comical side. It's just kind of a weird combination of things, and it just is, I love it. I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and please share any recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!